Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you find it interesting, please give me a like and a subscription. Have a nice day. Here is part 2 of the Supreme Judge series. Part 2, the destination of this flight is a living hell built by super-rich perverts, specializing in torturing beautiful girls. A famous female star accidentally boarded the wrong plane, arrogantly threw me a wad of money, "Get off, don't miss my trip to the film festival." She didn't know that I was the only one who could save her. The distinctive humming sound of an airplane echoed in my ears. I pressed the lens against the wall of the plane and calmly said, "Hello everyone, I am Senior Judge Luo Shi, this is my live trial." Comments immediately flooded in. What's going on? Why did my phone suddenly push me a live stream room? Who is Luo Shi? What is a senior judge? It sounds quite childish. Look behind her, isn't that the recently popular female celebrity, Liu Tian? A slender and beautiful figure walked into the first-class cabin. She was wearing the latest Chanel dress, her skin was as white as porcelain, her face was as delicate as a doll, her lips were red but tightly pursed, her expression was very impatient as she said to the manager, "Why did the private plane suddenly break down? If it wasn't for this flight being on time, I would have missed the film festival." The manager bowed his head in apology. She turned to look at me, her eyebrows furrowed. "Furthermore, didn't I say we would reserve the entire first class? Why is there a small fry here live streaming to attract views?" The number of comments immediately skyrocketed. "Yue Tian is so beautiful, this deadly angle is still so beautiful." As expected of a woman living in the turbulent entertainment industry, just now I entered the live stream room and there were only a few thousand viewers, now it has skyrocketed to a few million. Oh my god, I heard that Liu Tian is arrogant and has a lot of money, it is true. That's right, Liu Tian debuted as the youngest actress, not lacking in revenue and traffic, she is used to being pampered. The manager immediately apologized, "Sorry Miss Yu Tian, I will immediately contact the flight crew to arrange." No need. Liu Tian opened the payment code on her phone, raised her head and arrogantly said to me, "Tell me, how much money do you need to disappear? I hate being in the same space with strangers." I shook my head, looked straight into her eyes and said, "The one who needs to leave is you. This flight is called Devil Flight. The passengers are not ordinary people but beautiful girls who are being auctioned on the dark web and deprived of their physical freedom. Once you board the plane, you will be like them, becoming prey in the auction on the dark web. While the cabin door is still open, there are still 10 minutes left, leave quickly." Lunak DM was stunned, then suddenly laughed out loud, "Sister, what are you talking about? Are you a little girl who specializes in telling horror stories?" The comments also burst into laughter. I'm impressed, nowadays little girls really do anything to attract views. I'm laughing so hard I'm going crazy. The Devil's Flight? I thought it was a trip to hell. Look at Luo Shi's expression, he's still the same, he looks like he's acting out a role. Is this little brat taking the script from The Grim Reaper's Arrival? I'm dying of laughter, this is more interesting than a variety show, I'll call my friends to come watch the fun. Hey, Luo Shi, aren't you going to tell me more about that Devil Flight? I was used to the ridicule in the comments, and calmly said, "The super-rich perverts built an isolated island isolated from the outside world called Eden Island, it's the furthest from the mainland. The girls on the plane will be transported there, enduring cruel tortures. While alive, they will be released into the forest, participating in hunting games with hunters. Before they die, the adrenaline they produce due to extreme fear will be made into adrenaline-red pills, helping the super-rich regain their youth. Their videos will be sold at high prices on the dark web. Their flesh and blood will be used as ingredients at cafes and pizza shops on Eden Island. Finally, the most beautiful parts of their bodies will be made into works of art, displayed in museums built by the island owner. Knock on the bone and suck out the marrow, squeeze out everything. If you don't believe me, go take a look at the back economy class now, and see if the passengers are like I said, all beautiful girls. After hearing what I said, the comment stopped for a moment. Oh my God, listening to it gives me goosebumps. Are there really such perverted things in the world? It's really beyond my imagination. In a society ruled by law, how can there be a story of a living person being auctioned off? Whoever believes it is an idiot. The headphones are fake, seeing is real. Tion, why don't you try taking a look at the back class? Perhaps because it was too boring on the plane, Liu Tian saw this comment and really nodded. All right, I'll go take a look. She sneered, if the back is full of men, it will make someone feel embarrassed. Liu Tian slowly stood up, pulling the curtain separating the first class and economy class. I said the back is full of. Her voice suddenly stopped. Only to see, in the economy class, all were young girls. They were all beautiful, but their faces were extremely blank, like dolls, empty and lifeless. When Lunak Diem stuck her head out, immediately each girl leaned forward slightly, staring at Lunak Diem. Their bodies trembled slightly, as if trying to suppress an unspeakable pain. Their lips were tightly closed, not making a sound, as if they were deprived of the ability to speak. Their eyes, at once hot, expectant, and fearful, made people shiver. But they did not say a word. Only using millions of eyes, staring at Lunak Diem. As if using all their strength to cry out, "Save me! Save me! Save me!" Lunak Diem ran back to the first-class cabin as if running away, and plopped down beside me. What's wrong with them? I said coldly, in order to prevent them from escaping, these girls who were auctioned were all given psychiatric drugs, temporarily losing their consciousness. The panicked commenter had not yet calmed down. Oh my God, I was scared to death, those girls' eyes were really scary. Oh, it's over, I suddenly believed what Lak Hai said a little. Are the previous comments joking? It's very normal for a flight to be full of girls. My company's team building trip was also full of girls. Don't you see that they're all wearing the badge of the same dance group, a dance group going to perform, just happened to book the same flight? What's the problem? Why are you saying they were sold? It really makes me laugh so hard. Moreover, I checked, this dance group is recently performing a play called Doll Girl, which requires the actors to imitate the appearance of dolls. So they all have strange expressions. It's because they've acted too much, they're already in character. I'm dying of laughter, it's all just this little brat putting on a show, whoever believes it is an idiot. Liu Tian recovered from her shock, saw the comment, and her mind started to move. So that's how it is, I was almost scared by you. She fastened her seatbelt, rolled her eyes. Tomorrow is the award ceremony, the movie I'm starring in is nominated, I can't be absent. Don't tell me you were sent by my rival to harm me? As soon as her voice fell, the cabin door slowly closed. It was like an unbreakable wall, separating the cabin from the outside world. The engine made a loud noise, pushing the plane onto the runway, the front wheels lifted up, leaving the ground. The Iron Bird flew towards the blue sky. Miraculously, even at an altitude of thousands of meters, the live stream connection was still stable. Doubtful comment, there is still such a smooth signal on the plane, she is not really from some high-end space, is there some high-tech? Don't believe this little brat's words. Now some types of planes, after being specially reported, can connect to the network. I have seen, the plane they are on is the latest type. Humph, suddenly discovered that this little brat's thinking is quite tight, so many coincidences were all caught by her. I sighed, revealing an expression when I saw Lunak Diem. An expression mixed with pity and helplessness. Unfortunately, you missed your last chance to survive. Lunak Diem leaned back in the comfortable first-class seat, her face full of disdain. Sister, you still haven't given up on your ghost story? All right, it takes 13 hours to fly to Q City, it's so boring. Do you have any more ghost stories? Tell me the rest. I gently tapped on the plane window, haven't you realized that you'll never reach Q City? We plan to fly to Q City, the flight direction is from north to south, the sunset will be on the west window. Now look, where is the sunset? Lunak Diem suddenly turned her head. The sunset light penetrated through the gaps in the clouds and shone on the plane's body, as if covering the plane with a layer of golden cloth. Even the clouds on the horizon were dyed into brilliant colors. The sunset, clearly visible on the east window. I calmly said, the plane didn't reach its intended destination. It's flying in the opposite direction, to a hopeless hell that no one manages on the sea. Lunak Diem, you are about to also become a part of the auction. The sunset was clearly an extremely beautiful scene, but Liu Tian opened her eyes wide, as if she had seen a terrifying scene. Her voice trembled, carrying a fear that even she did not recognize. Why is this happening? She raised her voice. Why is the plane flying backwards? The comments also became panicked. Can anyone explain? I have never seen such a situation. I checked the flight direction of this plane, it is really flying out to sea.
Oh no.
This is really too abnormal. I thought that Luo she was a clown, now I have begun to believe what she said. Damn, my Yutian is not really being sold, is she? A flight attendant slowly walked over pushing a food cart, he was wearing a neat uniform, and asked softly, Miss, is there a problem? Lunak Diem immediately grabbed the flight attendant's hand. Why did your flight deviate from the route? The flight attendant smiled. The route to Q City has thick fog. Before the flight, we informed each passenger about the route change. Didn't you receive the information? In the live stream room, viewers quickly pasted the flight information into the comments. I found it. The airline actually made an announcement about the change of route due to fog before takeoff. Does that mean that Luo she saw the change announcement before boarding the plane, and deliberately brought it out to scare people? Those who just believed Luo she's words, come out now, I can laugh at this for 3 years. Damn, why do I look like such an idiot? How pathetic, now I really doubt whether Luo she was sent by Li Yutian's opponent to harm her. The flight attendant still kept her standard smile. Do you have any other questions? No, no more. The flight attendant placed the food box on the table. Here is your dinner, please enjoy. If there are any problems, please contact us at any time. The flight attendant bowed and left. Lunak Diem's face turned from green to red, both embarrassed and angry, regretting that she had just believed the words of a little brat and lost face in front of everyone in the comment section. She clenched her teeth and said angrily, from now on, I will not believe a single word of what you say. Lunak Diem angrily opened the food box. The lobster shell had been grilled until golden brown, the noodles were covered with rich meat sauce, giving off an attractive aroma. She used a fork to poke the lobster meat, the sweet juices flowed out, looking very delicious. I frowned, suddenly raised my hand and knocked her fork away. Don't eat. Lunak Diem was angry. Lack high. Are you crazy? I frowned. The flight attendants naturally won't tell you the truth, because they are also accomplices. This meal has been drugged, just take one bite, until the plane lands, you will never wake up, you can only let them control you. Lunak Diem was angry. Lack high, you just made fun of me, I didn't pursue you, stop it. Stop talking nonsense. I rubbed my temples. Talking too much to an idiot gave me a headache. Okay. I sat back in my chair, and said coldly, it's up to you. Life or death, it has nothing to do with me anymore. Lunak Diem humphed and used a fork to roll the noodles. The manager stuck his head out, his face full of worry, hesitating for a moment, he opened his mouth and said, that. Nak Diem, how about I try a piece? He touched his chest, I always feel uneasy, let me try first, if there's no problem, it's not too late for you to eat. Lunak Diem glared at him. Mr. Chu, why do you believe her words? The manager smiled innocently. Be careful, live long. The manager picked up a piece of noodles and put it in his mouth. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Lunak Diem started to get impatient, crossed her arms, and said in an annoyed tone, Lak Hai, I've put up with you long enough. After getting off the plane, you just wait and see. Bang! A loud noise interrupted Lunak Diem's words. The manager, still holding a fork in his hand, fell onto the small table, no longer conscious. Lunak Diem suddenly stood still in place. It was as if she heard her heart bang and suddenly sank. The last rays of sunlight were swallowed up. The sky was pitch black, like a terrifying hell. Liu Tian kept shaking the manager's shoulders. Mr. Zhou? Mr. Zhou? Are you okay? The manager closed his eyes, not reacting. If it weren't for his chest still rising and falling slightly, he would have been like a corpse. The panicked comments, fuck, 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 my fingers are shaking. The manager can't act with Luo Shi, right? Then there's really a problem with this flight. Is it really anesthesia? Is there any part that can control it? Come and save people. Don't be naive, it's already out of our country's airspace. Furthermore, in the air, the plane is like a sealed iron box, without any way out. It's really impossible to call to heaven or earth. I'm really scared. What should you Tian do? Who can save her? I said indifferently, stop screaming, this is Eden Island's special anesthetic, you can scream until he wakes up. Lunak Diem's palms were covered in sweat, her fingers trembled involuntarily, she grabbed me tightly. Didn't you say you were a senior judge? You have a way, right? I showed no emotion. I told you, you missed your last chance to leave. Lunak Diem stupidly let go. She wanted to scream, but found her throat was dry, unable to make a sound. Fear took over her mind, every little sound made her nerves tense, she even started to think randomly, all kinds of terrifying images appeared in her mind. If she really went to Eden Island, what kind of torture would she have to endure? Could she survive? Lunak Diem's lips turned purple, unable to hold back her tears. I'm so young, with so much money, I still want to become an international movie queen. I can't die. What should I do? Someone save me. A long comment suddenly appeared. Wait, Nak Diem, don't cry. There's no devil flight or Eden Island, that jerk is just fooling you. That flight attendant is your crazy fan. He was in front of your house before, that's why he was able to put drugs in your food. This is his personal action, it has nothing to do with this flight. This flight is still safe. Lunak Diem stood frozen in place. She touched the tear stains that had not yet dried, her expression blank. Crazy fan? The comments responded quickly, sending a series of links. That's right. I just found that flight attendant's Weibo, this is the address, inside it records the entire process of his criminal psychology. Drugging was the flight attendant's personal action, not because there was a problem with this flight. Nak Diem, calm down. This person named Lak Hai just wants to film the scene of you collapsing, then increase her followers, don't believe what she says. Countless users followed the link and clicked on it. Oh my god, it's really that flight attendant's Weibo. This person is really perverted, he even rummaged through Liu Tian's trash, followed her car, stayed in the same hotel as her, claimed to be Liu Tian's husband, held her cutout. Oh my god, so disgusting. There's also a record of buying sleeping pills, saying that if I ever meet Yu Tian, I must make her unconscious and bring her home. Scared me to death, knowing that this flight attendant is a crazy fan of Yu Tian, I breathed a sigh of relief. If there really is a problem with this flight, then it's good. Enough, I've reported this pervert to the airline, just wait for the company to handle it. It's just a virtual shock. What about the devil flight, Eden Island, do you think they're filming? Writing such an absurd script, the tone is even louder than the smell of my feet. Oh, I feel sorry for you, Tion. Her face turned pale from being scared by that crazy woman. Liu Tian breathed a sigh of relief, her complexion finally recovered some color. No, are you okay? You really scared me to death, I thought I was really going to die. Before he could even breathe a sigh of relief, the live stream room was immediately flooded with other comments. Who said this flight had no problems? I've been on the dark web, Lunac DM, there really is your auction notice. A photo appeared in the comment, in the middle was Lunac DM's picture, above it was a series of blood-red numbers, along with a few lines of descriptions that made people shudder. Auction item, Lunac DM, age 22, height 166, weight 45 kilograms. Auction type, whole body/body materials are available. Method of using the auction item / whether to keep the life mark of the auction item, no limit. Pickup location, 4 a.m. Eden Island. Starting price, 10 BTC. And now, only to see the latest auction price on the page has skyrocketed to 76 BTC. The warnings in the comments are like the scythe of death, continuously appearing in Lunac DM's wide-open eyes. This flight will land at Eden Island at 3:45 a.m. Once you enter Eden Island, there will be no hope of escape. That place is an abyss of no return, a hell isolated from the world. Only Luo Shi by your side can save you. Believe her. Believe her. Believe her. The 3 lines of words were like a resounding call, making people's hair stand on end. The next second, the plane shook. The sweet announcement was like a death knell. Passengers, the plane is about to land, please return to your seats, fasten your seat belts. The landing announcement was like the last straw that broke the camel's back. Liu Tian's face instantly turned bloodless. Her eyes widened, as if they were about to fall out, her lips trembled violently, her teeth chattering, what you said is all true. Her words were broken and chaotic, her breathing became rapid and disordered, as if she would not be able to breathe in the next second. She held my hand tightly, her nails digging into her flesh. I'm sorry, I was blind to Mount Tai before, I was too arrogant, I didn't know what to do, I'm sorry. I believe you are a high-ranking judge, I believe everything you say. Please, Miss Luo Shi, please help me. I don't want to be taken away by them. I don't want to be like those girls behind, I don't want to be their auction item. Luo Shi, please, tell me what I have to do to survive. In the noise of the plane, I calmly looked at her, you still have one chance. There are people on the island that I have prepared, after the plane lands, you stay by my side, don't try to escape anymore. This is your last chance to leave alive. Liu Tian nodded in panic, I will listen to you. It was 3:45 in the morning. The sky was pitch black, over the vast ocean, a plane slowly landed like a lonely goose. This island, free from all law enforcement, was like a sinful land forgotten by the world. It had the most beautiful pristine scenery, and the most advanced entertainment facilities, the playground of the super rich, a paradise for perverts. In this lawless land, the hands of evil reached every corner, making this seemingly prosperous island the source of nightmares for countless people. When the wheels touched the runway, it made a terrifying frictional sound. In the cabin, a suffocating silence enveloped everyone. Lunac DM's teeth kept trembling, I held her shoulders tightly, trust me, I will take you out. Lunac DM took a deep breath, I believe you. In the live stream room, everyone was worried. This island is really scary, it's clearly very prosperous, but it's filled with death. Is Luo Shi trustworthy? There's no other way, it's come to this, even if it's death, it's better to act like life. Anyway, the first person to remind you Tian that this flight is not normal, wanting her to get off the plane is Luo Shi, I can only trust her. I already believe it, please save our Tian. I gently pushed Liu Tian. Get out. Liu Tian gritted her teeth, vigorously nodding. Liu Tian and I walked out of the cabin together. At the end of the runway, a dark figure gradually appeared. Walking out was a man in a suit. Behind him was a group of strong bodyguards. Liu Tian held my hand tightly, her voice full of hope. Liao Shi, is he the person you said will save us? That's right. I quickly grabbed Lunak Diem's shoulders, twisting her arms behind her back. Then, I gave a flattering smile to the approaching man. Moto-san, I have brought you the auction item, Lunak Diem. The comments in the live stream room were extremely chaotic. Fuck, what's going on? So Luo Shi and them are a group? Everything is fake. The drama started from the moment they got on the plane. I'm stunned. Is Luo Shi joking or is it real? The man had a short body, long and narrow eyes, a thin face, high cheekbones, under the tense skin, thin lips were always tightly pursed, his eyes were gloomy. In the live stream room, someone quickly found his information. This man's name is Moto Noyuin, a wealthy Japanese businessman whose business spans technology, biology, and real estate, and he is one of the 10 richest people in the world. 5 years ago, the International Court of Justice charged him with child trafficking, human experimentation, vivisection, and organ transplantation, etc. But due to lack of solid evidence, the charges were withdrawn. Now it seems that those charges are all true. Save me, we're in danger. Moto Noyuin's lips curled up. Luo Shi, well done. I didn't expect you to make up a story about a high-ranking judge. That's interesting, I like it very much. I smiled falsely. Thank you Moto-san for your good cooperation. Moto Noyuin grabbed Liu Tian's chin, as if appraising an item, extremely satisfied. This has tripled the auction price, now the auction price has skyrocketed to 210 BTC. This time, I will give you 15%. My smile became a little more genuine. Thank you Moto-san. Liu Tian had completely lost the ability to react. She looked at Moto Noyuin in a daze, then turned to look at me in a daze, her lips moving, and she stammered, Luo Shi, what do you mean by that? What? Share? You're kidding me, right? I patted her cheek, smiling and said, Miss Lu, your fans are quite good, finding out the auction information on the dark web. But, you're too subjective. Remember, on the dark web, who initiated the auction? Liu Tian slowly blinked, trying to remember. In the upper right corner of the dark web screenshot, there was a name. The auction initiator, Luo Shi. Luo Shi, Luo Shi. Lunak Diem was taken to the underground laboratory of Eden Island. The laboratory was hidden deep underground of Eden Island, surrounded by thick layers of concrete and indestructible steel. Passing through the corridor, going through 4 verifications of fingerprints, irises, vocal cords, and gate, the huge metal door opened. Eden Island opened its giant mouth of evil. The walls of the laboratory were hung with large screens and dense control panels, on which colorful data and images were constantly flashing. High-tech equipment and instruments emitted cold light. On the other side, there was a large row of giant transparent glass bottles, filled with liquids of unknown color. Each bottle was soaked with incomplete body parts, some were amputated, some were removed organs, and the liquid also floated with blood threads and organized fragments. In the center of the laboratory was a tied chair. On the device that fixed her arms and legs, the metal rings emitted a cold light, wrapped around the thick and rough straps. The cold metal buckle surface was covered with deep and shallow scratches. Those were scratches left by people in extreme pain. The smell of chemicals, the smell of disinfectant mixed with the stench of blood, rushed into her face.
Ugh.
Liu Tian couldn't bear it any longer, and vomited violently. Moto Noyuin squinted, his long and narrow eyes became even more gloomy. Put her up there. No, no. The ropes were wrapped around Liu Tian's neck, wrists, and ankles. Her fragile body was tied tightly to the chair. Luo Shi, inject her with a nerve sensitivity drug. Li Yuetian panicked. What is this? I held a syringe filled with blue liquid and gave a fake smile. You know, our purpose is to provide good service to buyers with perverted tastes. The nerve sensitivity enhancing drug can increase a person's sensitivity by 30 times, including the sense of pain, touch, and nerve reflexes. After injecting this drug during sex, the girls will experience extreme pain, and it will also let their buyers feel extreme pleasure. This is the drug that is often injected into the girls on Eden Island. Lunak Diem looked scared, her hands trembling non-stop, but because she was tied tightly to the chair, she could do nothing but be tied down by the rope, leaving red marks on her skin. Tears and sweat soaked her messy hair stuck to her face. The scene made her, a famous star who always dressed luxuriously and arrogantly, look pathetic. Don't. Take it away, I don't want this injection. Luo Shi, you said you would save me, how could you lie to me? I sighed, sorry, Miss Lu, that's how business people are, making the most of their value. Next life, don't trust people so easily. I raised the syringe, under the light, the needle tip emitted a cold light. The next second, I turned the needle tip. Stabbed into Moto Noyuen's flesh. The cold blue liquid was injected into Moto Noyuen's body. Li Yuetian's cry was stuck in her throat. Moto Noyuen was also stunned, suddenly raising her leg to kick me, roaring, Luo Shi, are you crazy? With lightning speed. I rushed forward like a leopard, immediately arriving in front of Moto Noyuen, grabbing his wrist, forcefully twisting his hand behind his back. Immediately after, I kicked him hard in the stomach. His internal organs felt like they were about to be torn apart, the pain was like an electric current that spread throughout his body. Moto Noyuen screamed, Luo Shi doesn't have such good skills. You're not Luo Shi. Who are you? Yes, I'm not Luo Shi. I smiled slightly, the corners of my mouth curled up, and I raised my hand to wipe my face. The features of Luo Shi were like paint being erased, revealing a completely different face. Senior Judge, Ren Xia. Nice to meet you. Completely transformed into another person, even the voice, iris, fingerprints were completely the same, and in the blink of an eye, they were erased. This was a technology that humans could not achieve at present. Moto Noyuen looked at me like a dying beast. You are really a high-ranking judge. I spread my arms out in a matter-of-fact manner. I have said it many times, unfortunately, it seems that no one believes me. Moto Noyuen's chest heaved violently, his breathing was heavy like an old fan, his messy hair covered half of his face. Where is Luo Shi? I smiled, of course he is dead. I was like dragging a chicken waiting to be killed, roughly pulling Moto Noyuen's head, slamming it against the wall. Once, twice, 3 times. Moto Noyuen had no strength to resist, his forehead cracked, blood flowing. Along with the sound of the collision, I said each word, of course, you, also, cannot, escape. The pain was 30 times worse, causing Moto Noyuen to let out a scream like a pig being slaughtered. His face was swollen to the point of being unrecognizable, blue and purple, blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. Tears and snot flowed uncontrollably, mixing with the blood on his face. It was so pathetic. The live stream room was in chaos. I'm about to go crazy, can someone explain to me what the situation is? This woman spoke half-truths and half-lies, deliberately misleading Moto Noyuen and Yuetian, making them think that she was the real Luo Shi, and the senior judge was fake. In fact, she is the fake Luo Shi, the real senior judge. Luo Shi, no, Ren Xia, disguised as the Luo Shi of Eden Island, became a double agent. Damn, this is so exciting, I feel like I'm watching a spy movie. Li Yuetian's eyes widened, her gaze continuously swept across my face, blinking, then blinking again, finally with great difficulty she managed to get a few words out of her throat. Am I dreaming? Or am I dead? Is this all my illusion? I lifted her up, took out a handkerchief from my pocket, gave it to her, and gestured for her to wipe the tears and dirt off her face. Liu Tian took the handkerchief, her hand still trembling. She wiped it carefully, but her eyes still did not leave me. After a while, Liu Tian calmed down a bit, and took a deep breath. So, you really are a senior judge. I smiled. That's right. The morning light shone down from the clouds, piercing through the thick darkness, drawing a faint golden line on the distant horizon. It was like the boundary between night and day. A low and powerful sound echoed from the horizon, the sound coming from far and near, becoming clearer and clearer. Several rescue helicopters appeared in sight. The giant propellers stirred the air, creating strong winds. On the fuselage was a familiar and clear symbol. Like a sharp sword, tearing through the thick darkness. It was a national rescue helicopter. I patted Liu Tian on the shoulder. This time, I really came to save you. Your manager, the girls on the plane, and the others detained on Eden Island, they will be sent for treatment. Congratulations, you've been saved. When Liu Tian realized this, her tears had already blurred. I walked in front of Moto Noyuan. Moto Noyuan was covered in blood, his face as pale as a dead man. Seeing that the situation was beyond saving, he tried his best to hug my legs tightly, extremely condescending. Your Honor, please spare me. I know I was wrong. What do you want? Money? Resources? Fame? My accumulated wealth over the years is enough to buy a country. Please spare me, I will give it all to you. Oh. I curled my lips, and said slowly, actually, I really want something that only you can give me. A great hope suddenly flared up in Moto Noyuan's eyes. I knelt down, grabbed his neck tightly, and said softly, I want your soul. The green light exploded, swallowing the image of me and Moto Noyuan. Opening my eyes, I returned to the endless white space. The walls, floor, and ceiling merged into one, forming an endless plane. This was a high-dimensional space. I threw Moto Noyuan into a dark box. In the soul prison, the pain that the victim had experienced would be repeated over and over again on Moto Noyuan, until the soul completely collapsed. This was the harshest punishment from the Supreme Judge. Everything that Moto Noyuan had done, kidnapping, torture, rape, human experiments, all of it would be done on Moto Noyuan himself. And after injecting nerve sensitivity-enhancing drugs, the sensitivity would be 30 times higher. Humph. I curled my lips. I wished him luck. Ding ding ding, congratulations to Senior Judge Ren Xia for completing the trial mission, Demon Flight. Difficulty rating, S grade. Completion rating, S grade. Judge Ren Xia, the next round of trial is about to begin, please prepare. Trial mission, Strange Shop. Difficulty, SS grade. 3, 2, 1 Start the trial. End of Part 2.